Yeah, sadly he's had some major incidents in that car, causing damage, losing 20k from the top end. It's really hurting the way the car's handling and driving. No speed coming out of it.
That previous lap, the BDR number 78 continuing to try and reel in DSR Nightmare after that last stop that they did. And indeed, as the number 78 come up over. That's in sector 3, that's coming down Nordschleife now. We get to see what the difference in lap times are going to start to be. 2.5 minutes separate those two as it stands.
Yeah.
And the fastest car just now is that treble 7 in 8 minutes 32.1.
So they're answering back, whereas before was the BDR 78 was the fastest car on track. Now the treble 7 is answering. Really showing its pace now. There's nothing anybody can do against that.
No.
So the BDR 78 really struggling, 8 seconds, nearly 9 seconds down on the best lap being shown by the 777.
Yes, Ian Anderson in that 78 car. Last lap was a 9 minute 32 because remember that included the stop.
Yep. Did a driver swap there.
So really, I think the first idea of how fast it's going to be is when they cross the first sector times.
Yeah.
Now the DSR Nightmare car just came up to our Spaugenkreuz. And there you can see the weather. Or at least
no rain. No rain.
No rain at all.
Which is exactly what the guys want. DSR Nightmare car really showing its pace, stretching that gap to 5th place. Hopefully stopping in its tracks. Any thoughts of the BDR 78 car taking that 4th spot away from them this late into the event?
But yes, the DSR car has gone through its viaductance, had an incident out in the first sector. Number 63 car. Yeah, I think that's been a disconnect for viaducting.
Disconnect, unfortunately. Oh dear me.
Where viaducting should be.
It's clear, and yep, they've had issues, technical issues, which has caused them.
So that means the fight between DSR and BDR will be for the podium.
Yep.
I think.
We're going to have a similar situation that we had at the start of the race. Viaducting, DSR Nightmare and BDR 78 all vying for the final podium paint position.
Well, DSR Nightmare is just coming through. That's going up to Bergberg. Sorry, that's out of Bergberg up Kesselchen. So as long as that number 63 car rejoins before I see the Nordschleife, it will stay ahead, but just because you've got to remember that when they reconnect, they lose the lap essentially. Yeah.
You have to begin that lap again and go around and set the timer off once more.
Yep.
And the BDR78, knowing what's happening,
Yep.
will be themselves pushing hard, knowing that a possible fourth spot is in there for them. DSR Nightmare carries on. The point he has to do now is just drive as he was before and not overstretch and cause his own issues, as we saw with Roger when he had the leaders in the pits with their own problems. He caused an issue which gave the advantage back. Still in the pits at this moment in time. DSR Nightmare pressing on.
They're still pressing on as it stands. Coming through sector 3, they've gone, this is down the Flansgarten now. Flansgarten 1. It's important that you... that's the first exit.
This is...
Ooh, that was a nice little... hop by Morante. I'm just looking at my...
We're seeing the chase for the podium position here.
Ooh, that was a nice little flight, straight line. Looked like a fairly telemark landing.
So this really has helped the times that he was pushing in. Now that Viaducton have had their problems, it's going to pay off. Oh, this could be interesting.
I'm just wondering BDR and Ruing coming in a couple of laps earlier.
Yeah. Oh my goodness me. Nothing yet. And here we go. This could be...
Yep.
We could be just about to see a cheese. He's back in, finally.
They've rejoined, so you've got to remember that they lose a lap. So when they come back out, because Viaducton is still a lap ahead, this is essentially going to be a fight for third position when Viaducton come back out. They're still in the pit lane. They have been connected.
They haven't started the car up yet. Still in the pits, getting ready to come back out on track. This is close.
Still not in the pit lane. Ranty's coming in.
Now he's out. He's leaving the pits. This is close. And DSR Nightmare in the pits.
Yep, Nightmare come in. Viaducton going through turn 1.
There's Viaducton back out on track after the issues. Wow, it's all going off now. So we have them all on the same lap now, I think. They're going to lose their laps. As the BDR78's coming round.
Yeah, but the 63 now going to be losing its lap. That's going to put the 63, the treble 7 and the 78 all on the same lap for the final podium position.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fight to the finish. DSR Nightmare still standing. Viaductum, here we go. Hopefully that'll be the end of the issues.
So it turns out it wasn't actually a disconnect.
Yes, went in to fix the car, basically.
It was an engine failure, which does mean, because it is an engine failure, this lap counts.
So they've got the lap back instead of losing it. Oh, here we go.
So viaduct coming up over the floodplaats. Lovely little jump there. What a nice one from the car behind as well at the same time.
Got the leaders behind them.
And the 63 will soon be getting the blue flag to allow Moran to pass. Coming to Arenberg, and this should... Oh no, it doesn't. Excuse me, I was wrong. The lap doesn't count for viaducting.
It doesn't. No.
Sorry,
they've got to go back across this and cut the beam again.
Yep.
So he's looking now for the perfect opportunity to let loose the leaders. He doesn't want to be driving too long with that car in his mirrors as a distraction. He's better off trying to pull over, which he has done.
Well, DSR Nightmare came in last time round, which means they've still got to make essentially half a stop somewhere.
Yeah, this is why the call not to pit on the hour could come back to them.
BDR are fighting to do 2 more stops to the end. DSR need to do essentially 2.5 stops.
Yeah.
The question is, when they do that half stop, will they take fuel only, or will they decide to take tyres as well?
Yeah.
They're only 50 seconds ahead. If you say half a tank of fuel by itself is what, 20 seconds?
Yeah, it's
Plus
come back, hasn't it? Yeah, but it's come back to them. So it could still work. They've gone the long way around it, but it could still work. So they're back where they were around an hour and a half ago.
Yep.
In distance to the 777.
Yeah, so they've gone back to where they were, but the good point is that, yeah, of course, they still need to make that half stop. And where viaducting actually going to come out? Viaducting are currently... where is this? This is the run up to Kesselchen.
Yeah.
DSR Nightmare is Meskisfeld, that is. So I think it's about a minute between the two of them as it stands.
Yep.
So that means the third, fourth and fifth will be covered by less than 2 minutes. With about 2 hours to go. So it'll be 2 hours to go in the top third, fourth and fifth, and that final podium position will be contested with about 2 minutes separating the 3 of them.
Yep. Back to where we were in the first hour of the race, really.
Yep.
Which is amazing the way it's turned out.
And to have them within 2 minutes of each other after 22 hours of racing at the Nordschleife is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
As the Treble 3 has had a problem somewhere.
Yeah, it's got issues. Oh, let's have a look at this.
That's Sector 1, that's Arenberg.
Oh, this looks pretty terminal actually. It looks like they've also gone to the pits.
What's happened to the Treble 3 car then? Have you been able to see?
I'm just getting it back now. It looks, yeah, terminal. Like I said, they've gone back into the pits. Just trying to find what's happened to Treble 3. Oh, huge hit for the treble 3D DMD Motorsport. Yeah, off the arm core. Rear starts to come round. He's trying to control it just with the steering input and a little bit of throttle, but not to be. Spins around into the barriers. I would think he was too busy filling his pants at that moment to worry about the view.
Code brown?
Code brown indeed.
Code brown.
Code brown.
Meanwhile, this was Viaductin going behind
Ooh.
the race leader over the jump. Yeah. Fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, very good indeed.
Okay, so they're now back. So Viaductin has crossed the time. It's 100 seconds between itself and DSR Nightmare. So 100 seconds separate Viaductin and DSR Nightmare, and of course that final step on the podium. 2 hours and 16 minutes to go now here at the Nordschleife. As Viaductin's on the Grand Prix circuit coming up the hill towards the Schumacher S. Flat out pretty much in these GT3 cars, isn't it?
Yeah. Watching Roger Decline here, he's struggling with top end speed, as you can see. He's only hitting 250. But it looks like he's going to persevere. So it's his time to hand over the car, which is now. And who will he be handing over to? Who's in the pit lane ready for him?
It is Baz.
Baz, yep. Baz Wattenball.
So Baz Wattenball is getting in and probably taking over to the end of the race.
Yeah.
Can he make it on just one more stop? I think it's a little bit too far. They might have to come in for one lap of fuel.
Yeah. Unless they do a lot of lift and coast.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit too much.
Back to a lap down on the leaders. Unable to capitalise. Roger's incidents. Well, Francesco Morandi was going through his problems. Didn't capitalise and lost any advantage. So we have DSR Nightmare at the minute, 1 minute 47 seconds behind Viaductin, who have a 45-second lead over the BDR 78 driven at the moment by Ian Anderson, who on the last lap around was the fastest car on track with an 8:29.3. Very impressive at this late stage.
And that lap is just 16,000 of a second off the car's fastest lap.
Exactly, so that's very impressive. The track now shows 13 degrees, so the times will start dropping back to where they were
yesterday
when the race started yesterday.
As Baz Wattenball is now in that car.
And on his way.
Down towards the Dunlop hairpin. With what I believe to be the B32 car behind.
Behind. Pair of Audis showing well.
So 78, trying to chase down both the 777 and the 63. About 2.5 minutes away. You're 2.5 minutes away from the 63, yes, and 78. How hard can that be to make up in 2.25 hours?
At the minute, the 78 really has got a chance to catch up with the DSR Nightmare and put pressure on. But what normally happens when two cars are fighting for position, they both want that third position held by Viaductum. Will they hold each other up and give the Viaductum team a chance to break away? 1 minute 47 isn't that hard to catch up.
No.
If a mistake is made or an error.
That's the thing, a mistake, and I still think... when was the last time that Viaductum actually came in for his stop? It's lap 137. They're in lap 143 at the moment, which means perhaps this time by or the next time by they'll be coming in. And if they come by, this time by means that they'll have about... They come in this time by, they're coming through sector 2 at the moment, through the carousel. They've got about 3 minutes left in the lap, which means they'll have 2 hours and 9 minutes to go when they come in.
Yep.
If they come in the next lap again, that's pretty much 2 hours on the nose when they come in.
Yeah. That's what you should aim for. And that gives you a little bit leeway on attacking the track with that extra use of the fuel, but also gives you the comfort zone if you feel that you're not going to make that extra space to just wind it back in, knowing that you've got no issues on the fuel front.
That was an interesting amount of air Viaduct to cover the whole act.
Yeah, this late stage of the game, does he really want to be doing that kind of thing?
Of course.
Yeah, I suppose.
They are young. Flair, yes.
They are young. And free.
Yes. Got to always put that one in.
Yeah.
As they're coming down Brunchen now.
Yeah. There's always a song.
There always is.
There's always a song.
Always a song. Coming through the ice curve now, this next left-hander. And down Flansgarten, what is it going to be like at the jump? Because again, not really falling back from the leader, are they?
Yeah. They're not. The pace is good. But then again, the leaders controlling their own pace. Knowing that they have that lap in hand, why push the extra mile and put it in jeopardy? You're better off losing 4 to 5 seconds a lap than 60 plus in the pits.
Yep.
In one fell swoop.
So with 2 hours and 10 minutes to go, 3rd, 4th and 5th covered by just 2.5 minutes. This is going to be an exciting final couple of hours of the race. We'll be back after some words from our...
Communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx Desktop Mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
Two hours and 7 minutes to go here at the Nürburgring, as Mr. Newcomb gives you all a nice little wave to the webcam. And it appears that BDR perhaps closing in ever so slightly on the DSR Nightmare car. And DSR Nightmare, as you can see there, just making their way out of the Dunlop hairpin and up the hill through the Schumacher S. And those last laps, out of 3 of them, the Aston Martin Vantage GT3, Ian Anderson, that BDR number 78 car, was fastest, an 8-minute 30.7. Via Duckland was next, the car in third with an 8-minute 33.4, which is actually that car's fastest lap of the race. The DSR Nightmare car, the one in the middle, was the slowest, an 8-minute 35.6. Cars starting to close up as Baz Vartenball in that Audi R8 LMS GT3, the one move number 11, comes into the pits with 2 hours and 5 minutes to go. Which means perhaps they'll be able to do just one more stop from here, but I think it might be quite close. Might just need to do some fuel saving, might need to do some lift and coast around the big braking areas, perhaps just a lift before Arenberg, lifting before Anna Forest, lifting before Tiergarten. Yeah, if you do have 25.3 kilometers of track, there are lots of places to do a lift and coast.
Probably need the accelerator for about 24.7 of them, I would imagine.
Yes.
So there's plenty of time to fuel save. So that's a personal best there from Michael Seagard there, the 833.4, excellent at this stage.
The fastest lap of the race after just 22 hours.
That's really, you know, if you're going to start putting the pressure back on the opposition, it's the time to do it. All on lap 143, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Bas Swanepoel in P2 on lap 146, and the leaders on 147. Their last lap was an 833.219. Still awaiting Bas's best lap following his pit stop. Yellow flag showing there. Oh, and he's had another off.
Oh.
The stage of the race, yeah. we'll try and get that up for you, but it looks like the last 2-3 hours has been a really difficult time for the One Move eSport racing team.
So it looks like perhaps that 78 car is going to be as fast next time round. Well, in fact, yeah, again, that's probably going to be very fast again from that 78. Definitely the fastest out of all of them at the moment, I believe.
Oh, we'll have that same old story from the Audi. Here we go. We can bring you what's happened there. Turn in as normal. And then just as he's getting to the apex, the rear starts to break away. Tries to control it with right hand down, trying to steer into the turn. Brakes, and then the tyres just give out. Brand new tyres as well, aren't they? So that's them.
Yep, they are.
Ruined for the rest of the stint. Yes, oh, flat as a 50p note if you win Britain.
A 50p note?
Yes, there you go. Yep, sadly, that's on the outlap as well, isn't it?
Yep, that's the outlap. He's just came out the pits.
So he's got to drive the rest of this hour.
With tyres that want to shake his car apart.
Yeah. Trying to control the steering input as normal, and then obviously with the turn-in, it's not going to be a pleasant experience for the next hour.
As you can have a look at the standings at the moment, it is Francesco Moranti in the Aston Martin Vantage GT3 in the lead by a lap over Baz Vartenbol, who just had that incident on the Grand Prix circuit. The number 63 Viaductin is in third, but question is, will they hold on to that? A minute and 50 ahead of DSR Nightmare Treble 7, who in turn is 35 seconds ahead of Ian Anderson and the BDR number 78. The B32 Racing, Pelle Anderson is in 6th, and the Treble 3 DMD Simsport of Alexander Hartvig is in 7th.
So, can the One Move e-racing team get themselves back together under the control of Baz Vartenbol at the minute? Had an off on his outlap after coming out the pits. Tyres will be damaged. Now he has to nurse the car around for the next hour.
Yeah. Coming down, so 2 hours to go, Mark.
Yeah, not long. 2 hours to go. 22 hours in the bag.
Coming up the hill is Baz Vartenbol to Bergwerk. Yeah, that is to Bergwerk. As we've now reached under 2
Oh,
hours.
he's gone again. Oh, is he staying?
Don't
Yes.
touch it, don't touch it. Lovely. Perfect 360.
Just as he envisaged.
Yeah, just as envisaged. Perfect 360 coming to Bergwerk.
Absolutely perfect. Carries on as if nothing had happened. Nothing to see here.
Yep. What do you mean I lost 5 seconds in the middle sector? No such thing happened.
I slowed down for a pretty young hitchhiker. My
A flock of deer across the road.
I don't think a flock of deer exists, darling.
Oh dear.
We have a flock of rasmai.
It's a flock of raspberries. Do we have any of them? Do we have any
No,
of
we
them?
don't have any of them in driving. We've scared them off.
That's the DSR Nightmare Treble 7. Do they come in this time around?
No, they don't. Carrying on.
Because this is fairly interesting in terms of strategy, because Viaducton and double check because I don't think Viaducton came in yet for their next stop.
Don't forget they had that issue earlier on, so they're going to be out of sequence now, aren't they?
I think they'll be coming in this time by.
Yep. What was that last lap? An 8:36.
2.
Best of the stint was that previous lap of an 8:33. So we have Craig Hyde there in
Yep. Isn't that the Triple Eight car?
yeah. Are they going to take it to the end?
As yes, Viaducton still needs to make another stop. I think they should be doing it this time round. That does mean that the 78 and the 63 will both be able to make it on one more stop to the end. But the DSR Nightmare 777 still needs to make a half stint.
Yeah. This is what you've got to think about in this type of scenario. Now you're starting to work out the end game and work back from the finish time.
Yep.
And try and put yourself in a position where you can only do one stop. Can they get themselves into a position where they can make one stop? It doesn't necessarily have to be on the hour.
Yeah.
They can work out where they can do one stop and have enough fuel to carry them across the finish line. So I would say that would be the next one.
Another thing, they have to estimate where Morante will be in that 383 car when the timer hits.
Yeah, because they've got to make sure they've got enough fuel to go around if they're in front of him and not behind him as he crosses the line.
Clutch and coast all the way around.
Yes.
If need be.
We have seen cars help each other by
giving them a
little push.
Bump drafting.
Yes. Push them round the rest of the track to make sure they cross the beam to register the finish.
It's a bit longer than Nordschleife to do that though, isn't it? Surely.
It's possible.
It would take them a good 20 minutes.
Getting the same channel on the comms.
Yep.
Easily done. Can anybody give us a hand on the warm down lap? Carry them across. Seen it done before. And in the spirit of the event, I would expect it to happen. So let's see what the oh, look at that time again for Ian Anderson. Mr. Anderson is a nice 8:30.2. Only 0.8 slower than the fastest time overall that car's put in.
Yep. So it's 3.5 seconds faster than the DSR, and then 6 seconds faster.
The time's coming down. Yep, down to 34 seconds now. Just.
Oh, Moranti's gone off. The race leader has gone off. I think that was just a bit of a harmless spin. Perhaps, I don't think he's hit anything. That is at the awkward right-hander just before cluster towel. as Moranti is now coming through the carousel. Come to who has got to see if this small incident has affected his confidence at all.
He's probably just got over the fact that he had technical issues earlier on and got his mind back into the drive that he was on. And the last thing he wants is to cause major issues like we've got here. Here we see him going drifting out wide.
Sorry, that was a Moot curve. I thought it was at the right-hander after. But no, that's at the Moot curve. One at the end of the Kesselchen straight.
This has caused damage, I would suspect.
Oh, did he just touch the rear end against the Armco? I think he did.
He did. He did indeed.
With just a slight touch.
And goes back around.
Did he hit the front as well?
He does indeed.
Just.
And carries on. He's getting away with it, really. It could have been a lot worse. We'll see how the car handles from here on in. So it's all happening in these last 2 hours.
Yeah, the 63 Viaductin still just behind Morante. Well, now,
Yeah.
had fallen back a little bit, now he's right there after Morante's spin.
Let's see if he closes the gap. Let's see if the pace of this leading car is affected after that. Be interesting.
It's coming through Galgenkopf.
Yeah.
Just before the Dottinger Hill. That Viaductin car, Mikkel Seagull, is the one currently in that one. 1 minute and 45 seconds ahead of Steven Salsgaard, the DSR Nightmare 777. What are their lap times going to be this time round?
So the pace looks okay. He's only about 3k down so far at the minute. 2k down. Yeah, it looks like he's getting away with it. The pace looks good for the leaders. The handling looks okay. Doesn't look to be having to adjust his steering angle at all. It looks like he's coming in. He's coming in though. A little bit hot there, wasn't he? So he's coming in. Is anybody in the pits waiting for him?
Viaductin is staying out as well. Viaductin's lap time that time round was a 36.9.
Which is still good. It's where he needs to be to keep the lead. He does have, yep, a 1 minute 38 second lead over Steven Salsgaard in the DSR Nightmare 777.
So next car down is, of course, the 777. About 1 minute and 40 behind.
Leader still in the pits, full service. So they're not that far behind. The pace is steadied around the 39, opens up to 1 minute and 40 second lead over the DSR Nightmare from the Viaductin 63. They'll be happy to just keep it steady at this rate. 1 hour 50 to go. One more pit stop.
As Gazzola's got into that car.
Gazzola's got in, taking over the lead car. We'll be taking it to the end, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be, yeah.
Plenty of support for all the teams in the chat.
So the lap for the DSR Nightmare car was 8:37.7, so actually lost a second on Viaductin.
Yeah.
And having a look at those sector times, it looks like that Ian Anderson in 8:34.1, so gained 3.5 seconds on Salzburg.
Oh, that was a good time from the 333 DMD Sim Sport there as well.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race for that one at 33.836.
Yeah, with under 2 hours to go, Alexander Hardwick puts in the fastest lap overall of that car. So at least they've got the car handling the way it was at the start of the race after all its issues finally.
Oh, the BDR78's come into the pits.
It has indeed.
That's why it's a slightly slower lap. I was thinking, because it was quite good. There was a couple of green sectors actually. We just came into the pits for what will be his penultimate stop.
One more stop to go after this one. So it's put himself in a position where, yeah, he's going to be well within just having to do one stop, which is good for him.
I think it should put him on about 13 laps to go
Yep.
once he comes out. I think it'll be about 13 more laps he'll be able to.
So that gives him a lap option, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gives him the either option of coming in a lap early or sticking to the stint plan of 7 laps.
As BDR78 comes out, and it is still Anderson in that one. So
Yep.
I think he'll be taking that one to the end.
Yeah, with the pace he's shown now, I think that's the best move. Viaducton still pushing hard, knowing that any mistake's going to cost them a position. The last 2 hours has really shown that nothing is settled in endurance racing, no matter how long you've been out on the lead or holding a position. Both one move have struggled in the last 3 to 4 hours, and so have the leaders. They've had their issues.
Yep.
No car, apart from really, well, until about half an hour ago, Viaducton were clear.
Yeah.
They've given themselves their own issues. Okay, that one.
Struggling to bend down now. Mr. Newcomb, is your old age, is your old age catching up to you?
No, I was just being... My posture is everything.
Or is it now?
Yes. Looking after my svelte body there. Look at my body.
Oh no!
Well, you may choose not to. It's okay. I'm not offended. I forgive you.
Thank you. As for your Duxton, when is that car going to come back in?
Well, it did pit for that damage repair, didn't it? On the old engine. It chose to fix to take it through the last 2 hours of the event. Car's driving well, actually, isn't it? Young team. Driving well in these conditions. Learning every lap. So Bass now in the car. Up front. Still a lap down on the leaders. So we'll see what this lap time is, if it's mistake free.
63 Viaducton coming up over the jump. Left it, just a little one, just about 10 centimetres off the ground or so, not too much. Having looked through those first sector times, only that has been a driving change in the 78s. That's recent, that car now. So there has been a driver change in that car that is in 5th. And it actually looks like in the first sector, at least, the Viaducton Nightmare cars are fairly equal. As you come through the second sector, the timing split for the 63 Viaducton was about 6 minutes and 5. And so we'll get that same time for the Nightmare car. 6 minutes and 5 is what it's aiming for, to at least keep up with the 63. We'll find out in about 40 seconds or so. As Nightmare's just going for carousel.
Car looks really good at this moment in time, actually.
It does, dropping in, yep.
Looks like there's no issues that we know of anyway. Yeah, looks good. Keeping up the pace.
Yep.
Keeping up the challenge to Viaductum up ahead in case they fall down again.
It was 6 minutes 6 at the second split, so it looks like they've lost a second over the course of the lap so far. Just an hour and 3/4 to go here at the Nürburgring. Yes, our next event in 9 weeks' time, 24 hours of Spa, with all 4 classes, LMP1, LMP2, GTE and GT3.
4 races within a race.
Yeah, the warm-up race, if you like, for the big event in October.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of teams will be testing out the first iterations of their setups, ready before they start hitting Le Mans in earnest, refining the setups, and the teams have been finalised. They'll be good practice to get them used to each other.
Yep, and that's on August the 10th and 11th, but we'll be here on the 9th.
Yeah. For pizza, pizza in Carlsberg,
Yes,
as always.
as always. Carlsberg Brewery, not too far from here actually. About an hour and a half driving. I think it is roughly. Almost at the source.
Oh. Let's see what the speed. Yeah, the speed's up there. Nothing wrong with the Nightmare car. Maybe 3 kilometers down on where you would like it to be, but it seems okay. But after this length of a race, you don't expect 100% from the engine. It has been battered and bruised.
So DSR Nightmare comes across the line. Via Dixon's lap was 8:36.9. DSR Nightmare was actually 8:35.9, so just a second difference between those two. And it's not really worth saying what the VDR car's lap is, because it's going to be skewed by that pit stop. So they're making these 3rd, 4th and 5th place cars, making their way on their 147th circuit of the 24 hours. And of course Via Dixon still need to make their final stop, sorry, the penultimate stop.
Yep.
BDR number 78 just need to make one more, and DSR Nightmare need to make 1.5 stops.
Yeah, the goal is to get the final pit stop where anything can go wrong out the way, and then you're in control out on track.
Somewhere around the 50 to 55 minute to go mark is ideal.
Yeah,
I feel.
yeah. But here we are, 1 hour and 40 minutes to go in this 24-hour Nürburgring, brought to you by GTR24h. As we head in to the next round of commercials, stay tuned and we'll be right back, taking you through the next phase of the race.
Communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
So welcome back. We're now down to 1 hour 36 minutes left of the Nürburgring 24. Ezio Gazzola in the lead, where that car has been since the beginning of the race, taking pole, and at the minute actually has the full complement, hasn't it? Pole,
Yeah.
fastest lap. All it has to do is be careful, navigate the last part of this race and take the win.
No, he's got the fastest lap, he's also got the fastest sectors.
The fastest sectors as well, so being chased down hard by the One Move E-Racing team, piloted by Bas Swanton Ball at the minute. In Viaduct in number 63 has had a super race.
It has, yep.
Had its issues, was down 4th and 5th, but fought its way back up into P3 and has held on to that position for quite some time now. Michael Seagard at the wheel at this present time in the Callaway Corvette C7 GT3R, but on the same lap as both the DSR Nightmare and the BDR 78 car driven by Mad Reese.
It looks like that Viaducting time might be very, very good, because it's only a 3/4 of a second down at the second split.
Yep. Its last lap was an 8:36, where the DSR Nightmare played out an 8:35. Obviously, we're waiting for the BDR 78 still to complete another tour after its pit stop. And making up the rest of the on-track cars is the B32 Racing team and its Audi R8 LMS GT3. And in the same car we have 333 DMD SimSport in their Audi R8 LMS GT3.
Fastest lap of the race for the 63.
Fastest lap of the race from Michael Seagard there, 8 minutes 33.125. That's the kind of thing that needs to be done if it wants to hold on to this final podium pin position.
Yep.
Indeed. A great lap there at this stage of the race.
Not only that, final podium position comes with bragging rights that you've got, that you finished on the podium, but also comes with lovely €51.20.
Oh yes, don't forget the 20 cents, it's always important.
Don't forget the 20 cents, just like you don't forget the 0.3 on the length of the Nürburgring.
Exactly.
As Viaducting is coming up the hill, up the Schumacher S. Lap 148. All they've got to do is keep it on the black stuff and they should be okay for that final podium position. Because that DSR Nightmare car still needs to make another stop. Or at least he still needs to make another 2 stops.
Yeah. Which certainly does. We'll soon see it all played out when everybody's on the final stops. That last lap from Gazzola's an 8:32.
He's coming in, DSR.
DSR's coming in, so they will have to do one more. They will have to do one more stop. What lead do they have over the 78 or 148? So we'll go down below a minute once again. So will Reese be able to do anything once he gets back out? About 30 seconds out or so behind the 777 when it all shakes out.
Well, it depends if they're going to go for the long stop or the short one this time round. Or they'll just go for 2 equal leg stops, put tyres out at both times. So DSR Nightmare still sat there stationary in the pit lane.
Yep. And the BDR78 closing in all the while. As it makes its way back out on track.
Yep.
The gap is down to below 40 seconds.
Yep, so that's a full service.
Yeah.
As you can see, the weather at the Nürburgring now is non-existent.
It does exist, but it's in a
Sorry.
clear way.
It's not wet.
It's not wet, which is the main thing.
And that is DSR Nightmare making its way through the S's down the hill, and that's BDR 78 across the start finish line this time round. And BDR does an 8-minute 37.9. That's Maz Reese. So lost 4.5 seconds.
4.5 seconds,
on,
yeah.
Sigurd. But really, its target now is going to be. Its target now is going to be the treble 7 car, as the treble 3 does its fastest lap of the race again. Alexander Hartwig, an 8-minute 32.4.
Excellent time, showing that he has got the car under him that he needed all along.
Yep.
Some of these cars producing their fastest laps this late into the race. It certainly is a good sign. Still going for it, the DMD Sim Sport car.
That is coming up to Arenberg. As it is, there's the bridge in the first sector split time. What's it look like actually?
Yeah.
That's 1.3 of its own best. 1.3 seconds off.
Yeah. Still quick, so. B32 in P6.
Yep.
Had a lot of issues over the last 22.5 hours, but still going strong.
Yep. It does look like that 6th place is going to be the finishing point for the B32 car.
Yeah, that could be it. They've got a bit of a gap to 5th, but also hold a 3-lap lead on the Triple 3, who had their own issues. All happened really within the first 12 hours, Triple 3's issues. The BDR78 still trying to chase down DSR 777 Nightmare car driven by Steven Salzgaard. The gap is still steady below the 40-second mark. Trying to close in on position 4.
19 minutes to go, and of course, yes, as you said, they both got 1 stop remaining for that 4th place, but not sure if that Nightmare stop is going to be a short one. It may well be. Coming up towards Nightmare is coming up towards a part of the circuit. I think it's coming up to Bergwerk. That's a Vesien. Still a little part to Bergwerk then. Vesien for the DSR Nightmare car. The BDR number 78 is coming through Meskesveld. before making its meandering way down through Calenhard and on the way down to that same portion of the circuit. On board with the treble 7. No suspension damage that I can see.
Looks fine. Turning in. It's not pushing to the outside.
No, it's not understeering at all, no.
Yeah. Just nicely controlling. Not really yawing at the wheel, which we've seen, which does cause snap oversteer if you do too much, if you're trying to overcompensate. Turns it in hard, drops down to about 215. Ready to brake hard, down to second gear. Coming up to the famous carousel, turns in. Oh, comes out, went in a little bit hard, but no damage done, no foul.
Yeah. Well, we did see quite a few accidents in practice and qualifying where they'd lose the back end under braking for the carousel, and actually dive into the carousel because it's so banked, they'd ramp up and hit the article.
Yeah, we did see that, didn't we? Luckily, he realised his mistake soon as he entered and backed off, hit the brakes. So when he did get spat out, he was able to hold his car out of the barriers and carry on.
The DSR coming down through Vipperman, which means the next right-hander will be Brunschen. This one right here, as he dives down the hill, back all the way run down to the Grand Prix circuit again. Let's get on the run down to the Grand Prix circuit. There's quite a few bits where it still goes up. There's certainly not a flat piece of tarmac anywhere on the anywhere in the circuit, is there?
No, you're always doing some kind of steering input to control the elevation changes.
So Viaducting comes out.
Viaducting in the pits.
So they still got to make one. They still got to make a half stop after this one as well.
They have indeed. So yeah, they have.
So Viaducting have still got to make a half stop. So yeah, BDR is the only one who's clear to the end.
Yeah, one more stop for them. Oh, so this is still throwing up a few curveballs.
Yeah, so still a few strategy calls to be made. When are they going to be making that final stop out both the treble 7 and the 63? And can the 78 car make enough time to overtake not only the DSR car but the 63 Viaducting at the same time? Viaducting is out of the pits again, and it's Sigurd still driving that one. Will he put in a fresh driver for the final stint?
It's always a chance to driver swap. If you can avoid it, you would, if it's your final stop.
Yeah.
Why push the yaw factor to gods? BDR 78 still trying to close the gap. It's pushed out a little bit to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
41 seconds now.
Having a look at where, yeah, that is DSR that just came through, so BDR will be coming through soon. What sort of lap is Reese putting in?
Well, it's going to be mid-30s. About a 37. Yep, a 37.4.
37.4, which is 3/10 slower than St Gordon, the Viaducting car, on his in-lap, you remember. So actually that lap for Viaducting would have been faster. So this battle for the final podium position really is the one going to be in focus for the final 80 minutes now of the 24 hours. And it really is what we're starting to get used to in endurance racing, is they're getting battles right down to the wire, right
Yep.
into the final lap.
Especially 3 cars on the same lap.
Yeah.
3rd, 4th and 5th. All on the same lap. 1 minute 43. Separates the DSR Nightmare car from the 63 Viaducting. And the Nightmare car has a lead over 44 seconds over the Black Devil Racing in number 78. 2 Callaway Corvettes ahead of the 78 car.
Yep. So it's nice to see the top 3 be 3 different marks.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Which goes through the balance of performance. Corrections made work quite well.
Yep. Which is good. Disappointing not to see a Porsche in this event though.
Yeah.
And yeah, I must admit, it is fast. I think you have to do a little bit of work on the setup, which I enjoy driving it.
Yes.
I'm surprised that nobody's actually chose it where its strength is at this track with its short wheelbase.
Lovely turning abilities. Final tap.
What's the gap now? Oh, it's stretching now.
It's a minute and 40, then 46 seconds.
Yeah, the gap is stretching out now. It looks like the 78 car hasn't really got an answer to the 777's pace. But he is cutting into the Viaducting lead. So it looks like he's doing a great job, Carl Lightguard, stretching the distance between himself and the 78, but also closing in on the Michael Seagard in the Viaducting Corvette.
And with the Aston Martin Vantage being the lead at the moment, it's bucking a trend which in the real world race goes back to 2002, which is because 2002 was the last time a non-German car won the 24 hours of the Nürburgring.
Was it a Chevy?
It was a Chrysler Viper.
Chrysler Viper.
DSR Nightmare making its way around the many left-handers of the Kesselchen Straight. We're making its way up to mid-curve.
Looks like it's handling well, actually.
Yes, 250 on the run-up, this is what we're expecting. Was it on the apex? 200 just about?
Yep.
Just dipping slightly under. The fast right-hander that catches everyone out manages to keep all 4 tyres on the asphalt. Klostertal. Nice constant speed round there. Doesn't actually take a double apex approach, just going for the single apex. Carousel, stick it in, that stays in nicely in the groove. Launching out. coming up towards Hoacht. Up, nice little jump there over Hoacht, and then diving back down the hill. Hoacht at 610 metres of elevation. Lowest point on the Nordschleife, Breitscheid at 308 metres of elevation. Now coming through Wippenman. Down to Brunchen. Just keeping on it. The question is, when will this car make its next stop, its final stop? And when it does, will it actually take tyres for it, or will they decide to keep on this set of shoes? Flansgaard down the hill, accelerating all the time, 225 at the braking zone for this right-hander.
As we're now approaching a time when the teams are looking at trying to get into the pit stops for their last stop. 16 minutes to go before they can make their final stop, and that ensures that they get to the finish without any further visit to the pit lane. This 777 looking good on track.
Going through the Dalton now as the 333 comes into the pits.
Continues to cut into the lead of Seagard.
That is true.
And opening up the distance to the 78 at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to become a green lap for the car.
Yeah, he's done fastest sectors so far. So this looks good on his first outlap since the pits.
His first flight. Is this a flying lap?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. 271 under the bridge.
Nice speed.
275, 274 at the turn.
Yeah, Tiergarten. You really need to stack. It's really two-phase braking into Tiergarten, because there's a big turn in the middle of it.
Yeah, you can scrub the speed first off and then make the turn for the brake for the turn. And oh, what a time! 8:29.3.
Not quite 2/10 off his best, and 2/10 off the car's best is a 29.1.
Wow. But at this stage of the race, held up by the 333 in front of him there for momentarily.
As through the first two corners, those aren't really fast, so it really shouldn't hurt him that much.
Yeah.
And coming down to the Dunlop hairpin, the 333 gets ahead. So DSR Nightmare coming up to the back straight and coming up to Advan, the fast right-handed king. Flat out, of course, they've taken it about 225 kilometers an hour. We're braking hard for the NGK chicane. 240 it was before. It goes through chicane at 135. So even though the Grand Prix circuit, it has still got some massive braking zones, perhaps some of the biggest on the entire circuit, actually.
Yeah. Why, you certainly need the car to be working all the way through the event and not have brake failure.
Yeah.
At this stage, coming to 1 hour and 12 minutes to go, the last thing you want is to press the middle pedal and have nothing in response. So here we go, he's gone green again.
Incredibly fast.
He's going well. Let's see what he gets on the first split.
All four tires
this looks
back.
good.
Same goes for the treble 3.
A little fade, and then straight back on the power. Fantastic effort.
And coming in, yep, half a second off of in the first sector, half a second off the previous lap. It's not too bad at all.
Not too bad whatsoever, is it? The 252.7 that sector. Just 0.56 down.
Yep.
Car looks like it's handling well, as the times suggest. Viaducting. Trying to respond to what the 777 is throwing at it. He's on his out lap from the last pit stop, trying to put a time down.
As we're coming into the final stretch, almost coming to the final hour of the race now. An hour and 10 minutes to go. And the treble 3 car really hasn't fallen off the back of the treble 7 at all.
It's managed to keep with a tight distance on it, hasn't it?
As we're still waiting for the final stops from 3rd, 4th and 5th position. The question is, how long will these stops be and when will they take them? They will certainly be in the next part of the race. So come and join us for the final hour when we come back from this commercial break.
It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx's desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
And we are back live from the studio with only 1 hour and 6 minutes to go, and the chase for third, fourth and fifth is still on. DSR Nightmare trying to catch up with the Viaducting car and has eaten into its lead and also extended its lead over VDR78 in the 5th position. Viaducting is itself trying to hold off the charge from the DSR Nightmare 777. So the final pit stops on that far away.
An 8 minutes 30.2 for Carl Lickegard, and the DSR Nightmare car that time round takes 5.5 seconds out of Seagard.
Yep. This isn't sorted yet. Daniele on the same part of the track as well, not that far away from each other.
And the BDR Racing number 78 is just starting to fall back.
Yeah. I think its charge has been halted. It's all now up to 777 in the 63 to decide who was going to take that third position.
Yep.
The Nightmare car, or 777, is doing all it can, pushing the Viaducted car all the way to the finish.
Of course, that gap is 90 seconds, so in 5 seconds a lap is not good enough. It needs to be more like 10 or 12,
Yep.
15.
That car comes across any issues whatsoever, and it may cost them a position.
So Michael Seagard in that 63 car just needs to know, as long as he can keep the laps in the range of 8:35 to 8:40, he'll be good for the race. He'll be good for that third place. He just needs to keep it below 8 minutes 40 and it should be good.
Yep.
Because even then, if they were doing 8 minutes 40 and then suddenly Lickegard went 15 seconds a lap faster than him, it means him suddenly pumping out times that are 4 seconds a lap faster than that car is done throughout the entire race.
Yeah, and we don't think, with all due respect, that's going to happen.
You never know. It's incredibly unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah, he's doing all he can. That last lap, he was the quickest car on track.
He's been shaping up the secret hybrid for the final hour.
Been winding it up, hasn't he? He's only that his fastest lap there was only just over a second down on the fastest lap of that car overall in the race so far.
That 333 car of Alexander Hartwig still not falling off the back of the 777. Actually, you can still see it in the distance. That white Audi. It's only about 2 or 3 seconds behind, actually. Not bad at all.
Yeah. As the car straight now, you can see it just in the distance there. It hasn't fallen that far back over the last couple of laps, really, has it?
In that first sector alone, Lickegard was a second faster than Sigard. So in the first sector, DSR faster than by a second over Viaducting. That's not enough.
It's not, is it?
Needs a downpour, even though one won't happen. Need a downpour, they need weather or something freaky to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
The weather's clear. It needs a mechanical failure of some sort for the DSR car, really, I think, to catch up. And likewise all the way through for the one move on Ezio Gazzola.
Gazzola or Gazzola? Gazzola.
Gazzola in the lead. One issue earlier on in the event which caused a bit of stress, I would imagine, but they've come over that. And Gazzola, who was part of the qualifying team with Arisi, is going to be taking this car to the finish line.
Imagine he's lost 1.5 seconds in the first sector to the 777 Nightmare car, so I don't think it's going to happen for the BDR78 at this point.
Yeah.
Just falling back is about 40 seconds after the pit stop.
Yeah.
It's out to a minute now.
Ah, they've dropped off again, haven't they? Oh, plus 9 seconds. That last lap was an 8:38 as opposed to an 8:30 from Lightguard. There's the difference right there.
So it looks like it may well be a fight between 63 and 777 for that final podium position.
Yeah.
But again, the Viaducta needs to have an incident or something for the 777 to be within their shout.
I don't think they're going to give that option to the 777. I think they're going to drive just within themselves. They've got 1 minute and 25 to play with.
Spartan Ball comes in for its final. As it comes in for the final stop, should be okay. Just over an hour to go.
Yeah, just over an hour. That should be enough.
Should.
It should.
Should. And yeah, about 7 laps, that should be okay, as long as you aren't forced to do an extra one because where Gazzola is when the checkered flag falls. Or at least when time expires.
Yes, exactly. That's all important. Where is the leader as the checkered flag drops?
We're now under 60 minutes, under 3,600 seconds to go.
There we are. That hit the final hour. 23 hours in the books.
Finally, you're stretching after 3 hours going
Yes,
stretch.
after 23 only. You don't afford yourself that luxury until then.
Nope, until you know you're going to be making the end of the race.
Yes, as John goes and makes some more coffee.
Why do I feel that was a...
It could have been more tea vigour.
Why do I feel that was a rather large hint to John to do something?
Would I do such a thing? I think I'm afraid you have me mixed up with some other guy.
Oh, do I? So Viaduct and DSR and BDR still all need to make their stops, and if they all stop this time round, it should be good to do. Should be good to the end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because the first car out of these three, of course, Viaduct and car, has now passed the pit entry, so he's going one more lap.
When was the last time they stopped?
It was about an hour and 20 minutes to go.
I've just seen Herman Stocky in there.
149 was the last lap it stopped, and they're currently on 52.
Right.
So 156 will be the next stop, which is 4.5 more laps. Well, just under 5 more laps.
So it's like a half stint, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 laps at 8 minutes 30 will give you 42.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's 2 laps that they need. Put in 3 laps of fuel to be safe. DSR goes past the pits as well. 777 electing not to stop this time round.
On board with the DSR Nightmare 777. Trying what it can to close the gap with Viaductum up in 4th. Up in 3rd. But the gap isn't closing.
No.
They've got it below the 130 mark, but and that's where it stopped. Oh,
Whoa.
oh,
Bribing us now, isn't he?
oh, he's been very friendly.
There must be something he wants.
It's the Pringles, they have it.
He's being very friendly. There's something that he wants. I don't know what it is, and now I feel nervous. As BDR comes in, 78 is coming for its final stop. It was Mads Rees at the wheel. Will there be a driver change there for the final hour?
As the 777 goes back out onto the Nordschleife circuit, extending that gap all the while. As the BDR 78 sits in the pits.
That last lap, the difference between Sigurd and Likegaard was 5 seconds. Yeah, it seems like the 63 has that final podium position.
Yep, they've answered the attack from the 777 as the 78 begins to leave the pits.
That 78 car is still Mads Rees, so he'll be finishing the race. Again, look, the 333 still sat there on the rear wing, even though he's 13 laps down.
The pace is suddenly there. Look at its last lap, 8:29.883, the fastest lap of that car all event. So suddenly, where's that come from?
Mind you, I think a major problem was it was last night where they got damaged. One of the drivers just kept on driving for like 5 laps with major damage and 4 or 5 major crashes. That really hurt the car.
Which I couldn't understand at the time.
Can you still not understand now?
Nope.
It helps if you've got the microphone down before you speak.
No, I think it was a major error at that point of the race. Every crash over the... you had the initial crash which caused the damage. And then he tried to carry on, crashed again, causing more damage, crashed again while trying to keep going,
Yeah.
and then crashed again. So when do you say stop and fix the damage?
Yeah, exactly.
If it's not after the first one and not after the second one and you deem to carry on, then I think you've certainly made a mistake. If you have one and you manage to keep going around and then pit,